Hi Jake, how are you? My name's Jeannie and I am the dietitian for the team. I'm going to ask you to make me an inventory of the meals that you serve the team. We want you to prepare the food so that they're fed, they're not cranky, and that they can concentrate.
Hello everyone, my name is Jarvis, and today we are going to be cooking a pecan crusted chicken breast with Hasselback potatoes and dill green beans. It's going to be covered with a shallot white wine sauce, and it should be very scrumptious. I'm going to get going on the chicken for the pecan crusted. Alright, so what I like to do is I take the tail end here. Try and stay as flush as you can. Try and keep as much of that meat on there as possible. I always take off the skin. It's not exactly healthy, even though it is delicious. Alright, now I'm just throwing the chicken bones and leftover meat in a large pot. Get that going for the stock. And now we are going to butterfly these chicken breasts, which means cutting them in half. So we don't want to have the breasts be too thick, because then it's very difficult to get it all the way cooked without burning the outsides. Once I have cut all these, I will then take paper towel, pat them dry. Just loading up the flour here. Salt and pepper. Normally for this many pieces of chicken, I find 4 large eggs should get you through it all. Splash. Make sure it's fully combined. Don't have any of those rich yolky streaks. Alright. And this is so I can make the pecan breadcrumb crust. Bag of pecan cloves, 12 ounces, equal amounts of panko with the splash of Italian. I'm going to do well, this is actually a half tablespoon of cayenne. We're going to go up. I'm going to do the full tablespoon I was talking about. And finally, we need white sugar, which will stop this mixture from becoming a paste. This is the Ninja blender. Works from the top, as you can see. I'm quite fond of it. Just make sure that it has enough room to move around, so it doesn't just get stuck. Worked out. That's looking much better. It is now much more uniform. There's no large noticeable chunks of nut. So this should have a good chance of sticking. Once again, just have some paper towel on hand, because they will continue to sort of leak moisture. Just pat it. Then you're just going to run it in the flour, get the excess off, and then you dip it in the mixture. I try and hold it by a corner, but it doesn't really matter. And it's going to have it dripping off. You just want to let it have an even coating. You drain the end there like that. And what I like to do, I'll pick up a handful and then I can just cover the whole thing, pat it down, give it a nice coat, and there we are. And now I just do this with all of them. Got nice golden potatoes here, going to give them a quick rinse. As they just came from the store. Whiskey, bugger off, you're not supposed to eat that. Cheeky little monkey. And here. 2 chopsticks or wooden spoons or just anything. Basically it's 2 wooden sticks, and you're going to set them down so that they're right at the edges of the base. But it will allow you to cut very close to the bottom without actually cutting through it, and this then is going to create this nice, it's like a bouquet of chips. Alright, so now that I have all of these potatoes cut, I am going to get some herbs going here. This is fresh rosemary. Just going to pull the leaves off the stalk like that. I love the smell of rosemary. Oh, it's just so gorgeous. And then we have the thyme. I also just pull the leaves down off the stalks. There is no parsley or sage at the moment. Just going to chop these up rather finely. Do a mix, a blend of the peanut and the olive oil. Put the herbs in there. Now I am just going to make an infused oil. I'm just going to add a little garlic powder and stir that around. We're going to need to start getting the chicken going. I will also be using a mix of olive and peanut oil. You want that oil to be evenly coating the bottom of the pan. Want to cook these on medium-high heat for about 4 minutes on each side. Look. If you don't hear the sizzle, sound is very important, but when you lay that chicken down you should hear that. Now it's got a little smoke coming off. You can just hear it. I don't have it on maximum heat right now, so. This oil over here is about ready, so I just need to drain it. Now I'm just going to place the potatoes in with the oil. Basting brush here should be good for helping to get into the nooks and crannies. I've got to put this chicken. You want to try and be really careful in order to not lose the breading. Left it just a little too long. It's starting to go a little black there, but it's still an okay color. Switch back to our potatoes. Alright, got those ready now, and we've still got some more oil left for basting throughout. Chuck a bit of salt and pepper over at this point. Oh, one's back in. Alright, that is looking quite complete there. I will cut into one of them just to make sure in a moment. Nice casserole glass dish. Just gonna quickly inspect the green beans. I don't really go overboard with the vegetables as far as quantity because it is quite difficult to get gamers to eat their greens. But we do have ways of helping, and one of them is with more fresh herbs, as well as dill wheat. A teaspoon there, and salt and pepper. Just gonna set that in the microwave to melt. So we have the dill, butter, thyme combination with salt and pepper. Just get that right in there with the green beans. Toss them up. Get an even coating. After you have cooked meat, you've forced a lot of the water out of it, And if you let it sit, you cover it with foil, you let it sit for about 10 minutes, you give it a chance to reabsorb some of that liquid and get your meat a little juicier. Hit them with a dash of the best. Try and get them to open up a bit here. And now we'll put it back in the oven, flipped around, and the adventure continues. And after this we will make the pan sauce, and I'm going to need to cut up some shallots to help with that. And we are going to use the shallots to sort of deglaze the pan along with some lime. We are going to be adding this to our pan. Going to need a bit of our sherry wine and about a half a cup. Stir that around, make sure we release the fond, as it's called, the sticky bits of meat that adhere to the pan as you are cooking away. And we're just going to reduce this for a couple minutes. Make sure we burn off the alcohol from the sherry. We have the stock that's been bubbling away. I'm going to try and have that chicken not fall forward because it's going to splash about and be horrible. And now I'm going to add, I would say about half a cup, a little heavy cream. Probably about a fourth of a cup there. And this, you definitely want to be stirring it as you add it. You don't want it to be crazy hot. At this point I'm going to put the green beans in the oven. Need to add one last thing to these potatoes, and that is the herb mixture that was strained out. Now sprinkle that back over. So this is just the little bit of rosemary and thyme. Just rub it around these taters. Alright, they are just starting to get a nice textured edge to the outside. Plating has always been a bit of an Achilles heel. When I started, we always used just paper plates to try and help me out in the doing dishes department, but those really were not very picture conducive. I got quite a few comments on my Twitter about how it would look so much nicer if it wasn't on paper plates. Nom 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 nom. I am rather pleased with how it turned out. And on potatoes as well. I try and have some plates with large portion, some with small. Players like shrimp someday, very often won't eat too much. Myself, I will frequently have a big plate. Some people have been asking for extra feeding so they can put on some weight. So I try and have an array of portioning. There we have it. I will just put forks on and take a picture for the Twitter and hand them out. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Sunday, did you want a little chicken and potato? No. There we are. Plate's a little warm there. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us this evening. Thank you for watching Dig Jarvis. You'll find the recipe for said meal in the description. And please do tune in next time to catch the next scrumptious event.